want to tell you a little story. 2 days ago, I was in Las Vegas for a conference. It was the annual meeting of the Association of Corporate Counsel. More than 2,000 in-house lawyers from the US and from the rest of the world gathered in Las Vegas for a conference. There were almost 80 panels and one on arbitration, both domestic and international arbitration. The questions that were discussed were very different from the ones that we discussed here. It was very simple, and these people had a lot of questions about arbitration. What are the best cases in which they should use arbitration? How should they draft a clause? And I realized the distance that sometimes exists between our arbitration community and the rest of the world, the in-house, the users. This is exactly what Jus Mundi is about. We are trying to bridge the gap between international arbitration, international law, and the rest of the world by making the information easily accessible to everyone. And we do believe that with time it will participate in building a global rule of law. That's one of the reasons why we get along so well with ICC, because we share this similar vision. And especially now with the impulsion of Claudia, the ICC is getting closer and closer from its users, the in-house lawyers. So in short, if you don't know Jus Mundi, what are we about? You can see Jus Mundi as a kind of Google for arbitration, meaning that you can search for any legal information, arbitral awards, municipal case law, etc. But you can also see Jus Mundi as a kind of LinkedIn for arbitration, meaning that you can search for practitioners, arbitrators, counsel, experts, and see their track record. But behind the scene, Jus Mundi is a real data science company. We collect the information all over the world, and we use artificial intelligence to process it, to extract the valuable information and build the platform. And once we have done that, we make it accessible on our platform, and there is something very different between Jus Mundi and the other platform, which is the open access model. All the primary sources that are available on Jus Mundi, you don't need to pay to access them. You can go on Google, find them, read them, download them. It's totally free. And I think that's another reason why ICC wanted to partner with Jus Mundi. The first time a bit more than a year ago. And you've probably heard of this first partnership for the publication of related ICC awards. So all the ICC awards that have been awarded after 2019, if parties do not object, and I want to insist on this, nothing is published without parties' agreement. So if parties do not object, Jus Mundi will do an anonymous version of the award, so it becomes complicated or impossible to identify any of the parties, of the witnesses, etc. And with parties' agreement, the award is published on Jus Mundi in free access. So this partnership exists now for more than a year, and all these ICC awards are now published in free access. But we decided to take a step further with ICC to integrate on Jus Mundi the ICC Dispute Resolution Library. I guess all of you already know this library. You probably already use it for your research. But if you don't, I will just explain briefly what there is inside. First and foremost, on the ICC Dispute Resolution Library, you find the ICC bulletins that exist for more than 30 years. 3 times a year, you will find a new numero of the bulletin with articles on the last hot topics in arbitration, awards that have been summarized by the Secretariat, procedural decisions, and so on. You will find also books that have been published by the ICC court. You will find guides, like the Secretariat guide of the court rules, or enforcement guides that are a must when you want to enforce awards all over the world. The ICC Dispute Resolution Library is one of the best arbitration content that exists and that has existed for the past 30 years. So why was it needed to partner with Jus Mundi? ICC has the best content, and Jus Mundi is good makes this content easily searchable. So that's why we saw a great opportunity. So now you can access all this content on Jus Mundi like the rest of the content. So I will take a few examples to show you how it can be valuable to you. So we just had a great panel on economic sanctions. So I took an example of a research on Jus Mundi now about economic sanctions and corruption. And you see that among the results, you find ICC Dispute Resolution Library documents. For instance, the ICC Business Guide to Trade and Investment that was made in 2018, or the last number of the bulletin that discussed corruption and economic sanctions. Okay? So with one research, you will have access to all the awards, to all the rules, to all the doctrine in one platform. So when you need to prepare such a presentation or prepare a case, that's very valuable. Second example, when you want to use the rules. So here you have the ICC rules, the new rules from 2021. And if I am correct, in the article 33, there is a paragraph 3, which is kind of new and gives the possibility to a party to do additional, to request for an additional award. So if you have to apply this paragraph, and you need to find an interpretation, you just have to click on the paragraph and on this little icon on the right. And it will give you access to ICC Arbitral Award or to ICC publications that discuss this paragraph, this interpretation, like this Shell Gazprom versus ECA award. And so you can easily find the right interpretation, or you can argue against your opponent's interpretation. That's for the legal research part. The other interest in having ICC Dispute Resolution Library on the platform is that it will appear on the authors and editors' profiles. So when you want to appoint, for instance, Alexis as an arbitrator, you can have access to his profile on Jus Connect. And what you had maybe before, what you were looking for, as a list of cases, the track record, and the analytics on what he did as an arbitrator. What is now new is that you will also have access to the list of publications, the list of ICC publications for Alexis, and you can access them and read them in Jus Mundi. So if you want to appoint him, it's probably interesting to read what he has written, but also for arbitrators, counsel. If you have written with ICC, it will build up your profile on the platform. So this is leading me to my conclusion. And you probably know that later this afternoon there will be a tribute to Alexis. And I want to take a bit of advance and discuss, to say something about Alexis. This tribute is about a book also that has been made in honor of Alexis. The title of the book is Leadership, Legitimacy and Legacy. I found it to be a perfect title, and especially the first part about leadership. Alexis, it is, we say that great leaders are not showing the path, they are walking the path. And I believe that this is exactly what you did by taking the ICC and the arbitration community to a new era of global legitimacy. Your actions have inspired those who know you, those who have worked for you, and many others, including myself. So I thank you for that, and I thank you for your attention.